Ultraman Max. Ultraman Max is a giant hero from the Land of Light in the M78 Nebula who's literally too cool to stay home just watching cosmic sunsets because he was assigned as a civilization guardian to check out developing worlds and help keep peace across the universe. His origin starts when he was sent to Earth to investigate a crisis caused by humans messing things up. No surprise there. And while observing the planet, he saw a brave young human named Kaito Toma risking his life to help others during a monster attack. Impressed, and maybe thinking this kid has guts and hopefully deodorant, Max didn't just wave from a distance, he merged with Kaito, giving him the mystical Max Spark device so they could become Ultraman Max and protect the planet together. Think of it like a cosmic buddy cop team where one partner is 7,800 years old and the other probably needs more sleep. On Earth, Kaito transforms using the Max Spark on his arm and for about 3 minutes becomes the towering Ultraman Max to fight kaiju and alien invaders with moves like the Maximum Cannon and later the Max Galaxy weapon he inherited from Ultraman Xenon. Their fusion wasn't just a power-up, it was a pact to defend humanity until their mission was done, after which Max eventually returned to his homeworld, probably with great souvenir photos.
Ultraman Xenon.
Ultraman Xenon is a giant silver and red space guy from the Land of Light in Nebula M78 and basically one of the senior Ultra Warriors. Think of him like a cosmic drill sergeant with a really shiny suit. But he doesn't merge with any human host, he just is an Ultraman in his own right, with no secret identity lurking in a human school uniform. He first pops up in Ultraman Max to save Max when he's about to get squashed by the fearsome Zeton, arriving in a glowing red sphere because walking is too mainstream for high-ranking Ultras, and holding the threat at bay with his awesome Xenonium cannon before basically giving Max a shiny new weapon called the Max Galaxy, telling him to handle the rest of the alien invasion while he zips back home like the intergalactic Uber driver he is. Xenon is about 8,700 years old, so yes, he's older than pretty much every sci-fi dad joke you've heard, with super speeds, gravity-defying strength, and other Ultra abilities that make him a big deal among the Ultras. His origin isn't some tragic mystery orphan-turned-hero backstory. It's simpler. He's already an accomplished Ultra from the Land of Light who just shows up to help and occasionally hands out cosmic gear, kind of like a chef showing up at a BBQ with not only the grill, but also the steak seasoning.
Ultraman Mebius. Ultraman Mebius is a fictional Ultra Warrior from the Ultraman Mebius series, a giant red and silver superhero from the Land of Light in Nebula M78, sent to Earth as the latest Guardian nearly 25 years after the last Ultra, and yes, he's the newbie of the Ultra Gang, so think of him as the rookie with superpowers rather than a confused intern who misplaced his coffee mug. Before he became Earth's defender, he trained under Ultra veterans like Ultraman Taro and Zafi on his home planet, where he learned how to kick giant monsters and probably make facial expressions that wouldn't make human actors jealous, and was given a device called the Mebius brace by the father of Ultra, along with a pep talk about living up to the storied name Ultraman, which is basically Ultra for don't mess this up. On his way to Earth, he witnessed a space transport being dragged into the Ultra Zone, where the captain's son, Hiroto Bonds, sacrificed himself for his crew, and although Mebius was a tad too late to save him, he was so inspired that he modeled his human identity, Mirai Hibino, after Hiroto Bon as a sign of respect. Once on Earth, he joined the defense team Guys under that alias, fought monsters and aliens with gusto, learned what it means to be a true Ultraman, and made friends while growing up faster than a spreadsheet full of kaiju attack reports. Ultraman Hikari. Ultraman Hikari is a secondary Ultra hero from the Ultraman Mebius universe who started out not as a flashy warrior, but as a brilliant scientist and chief of the Space Science Technology Bureau in the Land of Light, where he invented amazing stuff like the life solidification device that can revive dead Ultras and other gadgets that would make any superhero gadgeteer jealous. His origin twist is more tragic hero than instant hero. Hikari was once just a science genius until he failed to protect the peaceful planet Arb from a monster named Bogar, and this failure ate his heart so much that he ended up becoming Hunter Knight Tsurugi, donning the armor of vengeance in pursuit of revenge. While flying to find the legendary giant, he meets the wise Ultraman King, who gives him the Knight Brace and warns him that his heart might get corrupted. Basically, don't go full evil scientist trying to punch your problems away. After that encounter, Hikari's intense feelings of loss and fury combine with Arb's own desire for justice, transforming him into the vengeful Tsurugi who crashes around the universe until eventually he is killed, revived by Mother of Ultra, and earns the honor of the name Ultraman Hikari from human ally Ryu Aihara once his heart reopens to heroism instead of just revenge. Ultraman Zero. Ultraman Zero is an Ultra warrior from the Land of Light and the son of Ultra 7, but his origin story is way less born to save and more oops, I did it again, because as a young Ultra he was super cocky and tried to grab the plasma spark for himself, which is basically the Ultra equivalent of taking candy from the universe's biggest power bank without permission. So his dad and the Ultra brothers stopped him and banished him to planet K-76 to train under Ultraman Leah while wearing restrictive training gear so he wouldn't keep trying to be a galactic toddler with a power toy. During that tough love boot camp, he eventually learned that protecting life is what Ultras are supposed to do, when he chose to save a Pigmon instead of just fighting Leo, and Ultraman King confirmed this lesson, redeemed him, revealed that 7 was his dad, and freed him from the gear so he could join the fight against the evil Belial. And although his father died in battle in his arms, Zero avenged him and went on to become one of the strongest Ultras ever, forming his own team Ultimate Force Zero. It's basically the classic banished brat turned hero tale, with happy monster punching and a little family drama. Ultraman Ginga. Ultraman Ginga is a futuristic Ultra warrior who literally came from a time where sparkle and justice beat gloom and doom. And yeah, he's literally sparkly because his whole deal revolves around spark dolls and a Ginga spark device. Ginga originally wasn't just a standalone hero. He and his nemesis, Dark Lugiel, were once one single being somewhere way out in the future. But then they split because Ginga was all let's save everyone with friendship and sparkles, while Lugiel was more like let's pause all life so nobody ever gets hurt again. Classic light versus dark stick. When the Dark Spark War kicked off, think of it as the worst action figure apocalypse ever, pretty much all Ultras and monsters got turned into tiny spark dolls by Lugiel's evil Dark Spark, including Ginga himself. The Ginga Spark, his power device, was hidden on Earth until a teen named Hikaru Raion, who has this glowing mark of courage, basically Ultra chosen person vibes, found it. Once Hikaru grabbed the Ginga Spark, he could summon Ginga by calling out Ultra Live Ultraman Ginga, kind of like yelling at your Wi-Fi router to connect a hero. With a flash, sparkle, and probably a little zero-gravity glitter, Ginga came out to throw beam attacks, reclaim spark dolls, and save the day. Eventually, he helped defeat Dark Lugiel and then went back to space, leaving Hikaru the task of exploring Earth and cosmic destiny.
Ultraman Victory. Ultraman Victory is an ancient Ultra being born from the mysterious Victorium Stone, and yes, it sounds like a rock band name, but it's more like the coolest cosmic gemstone ever that decided to give birth to a hero instead of a necklace. He's the guardian of an underground race called the Victorians, and the protector of those very Victorium Stones, because apparently nobody in any universe has learned not to fight over magical rocks without consequences. In ancient times, he came from space to give the Victorians the Victory Lancer, the fancy weapon that lets a chosen one transform into Ultraman Victory whenever big trouble shows up, much like a cosmic hold my beer moment. The first time anyone used that power was to stop a rampaging monster named Shepherdon, and later on a Victorian prince named Sho gets handed the Victory Lancer by his mom so he can stop alien thieves from stealing Victorian for evil purposes, and boom, he transforms into Ultraman Victory using that Lancer and a Spark Doll, which is basically the Ultra version of a collectible action figure with superpowers. Victory has a time limit of 3 minutes just like his buddy Ginga, because apparently heroism comes with an espresso-sized battery life, and he can even fuse with other Ultras like Ginga to become Ultraman Ginga Victory when teamwork really matters. Ultraman X. Ultraman X is the titular giant of light from his own show who, like that mystery leftover pizza in the fridge, appeared out of nowhere and instantly became important. He's an Ultra warrior whose job is to keep cosmic balance, and he once chased the nasty monster Griza all the way into our solar system, booted it toward the sun, and whoops, accidentally triggered a massive Ultra flare that blasted Earth and awakened all sorts of spark dolls, which is basically Ultraman speak for stuff you don't want popping up in your backyard. His heroic effort cost him his physical body because he got trapped in a digitized state meant for interstellar travel. Picture being turned into a super-powered cosmic USB stick forever floating through space. Fast forward 15 years, and our binary code buddy picks up a weird signal from Zio officer Daichi Ozora, bonds with him through a gadget called the X Divisor, and suddenly he's reassembled enough to punch monsters again with a human host's help, like the tag team you never knew you needed. Ultraman X's origin is weird, flashy, and fun of digital chaos, but the gist is he's a cosmic warrior without a body, hanging out in a gadget, fighting baddies, and basically proving that even data blobs can be heroes if they find the right human to share Wi-Fi with.
Hey everyone, thank you for watching until the end. I'll be back with more videos, so make sure to like and subscribe.